Greetings, duelists, and welcome to another video. So, as you guys already know, Centurion is the archetype that I've been playing throughout this format. I've been playing the deck for a little bit over 3 to 4 weeks now, and I'm pretty convinced that this is going to be my deck choice for the entire format up until like the WCQ season. That's not to say that I'm not going to play other strategies or I'm not going to try to go back and revisit other decks that I am comfortable with for this format. However, Centurion as of right now is like one of the decks that I kind of want to keep playing. What I'm going to do today is showcase you a couple of combos that I figured out with this strategy, but at the same time, I'm going to do a very small transition because we are already confirmed to receive support for this archetype in around 6 to 7 weeks, which is the release of Light of Destruction. And despite the minimalistic changes that the deck will receive, or the few cards that we're going to be getting, a few strategies or a few ways of us crafting our end board is going to change. And not only that, but the deck receives a new layer of interactions that your opponent has to actually be wary of. So without further ado, let's begin. I'm going to just use this hand as an example. We can just try out other sample hands to see what happens afterwards. But like for one example that we can do is we activate Emblem of Oath. Emblem of Oath is going to activate Stand Up Centurion. Well, it's not gonna activate it. It's just gonna set it. We're going to flip said Stand Up, and then we're going to use its field effect to send Vision Resonator in order to put into the spell and trap zone one Centurion monster. The Centurion monster of choice that we're going to be putting is Primera. Now, Vision Resonator will activate in a separate chain, and basically what it will do is going to add us Crimson Gaia to our hand. Prior to Light of Destruction, the monster that we want to put into the spell and trap zone is Trudea. Post Light of Destruction, you want to be putting Primera instead of Trudea. I'm going to show you the Trudea version first, just so you understand. So basically, we're gonna put Trudea here in the spell and trap, and we're going to use Crimson Gaia. Crimson Gaia is going to activate, and since we already control one Vision Resonator in our graveyard, we're just going to add another one to our hand. We are running multiple copies of it. Here we go. The reason we're adding and not returning from the graveyard is because we have a Bystial in our hand. If we did not have a Bystial, then this could be a little bit different, and then this could be like another one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do Trudea's effect, and Trudea is going to special summon herself. We're going to make her level 8. Since we control a dark monster that is more than level 5, we can special summon Vision Resonator. If we get Droll and Lockbird here, what we're going to do is we're going to move the Trudea back to the Spell and Trap. The Trudea is going to spawn for Emmet 6. And then Emmet 6 is going to trigger to special summon itself. And then Emmet 6 and that Vision Resonator is going to make a level 10 synchro. Since we have a Bystial in our hand, one of the synchros that we can use summon is Dissipator. If we do not have a Bystial, then we're going to summon Baron the Floor. Take note, everything I'm doing is under draw. So I'm just going to put that disclaimer over there. Since we have the Bystial in our hand, we're just going to put Dissipator. And then what we're going to do is we're going to activate Bystial to Boldrake. Bystial Boldrake is going to special summon itself. And we're going to banish one of the Vision Resonators. Then what we're going to be doing is we're going to use the Dissipator. and the Dissipator is going to summon back the Vision Resonator. We're going to just set the Primera because this Primera is not part of this combo. And now we have a level 10 and we have a level 2. So what we can do is we can grab 10 plus 2 and it could make Legatia. Or after Light of Destruction, we can make Archeola. Since we're on the Drawn Lovebird, Archeola makes no sense here, so we're just going to summon Legatia because Legatia has a better has a higher attack boost. Another monster that we can summon, if we don't want to go that route, is we can use the Baldrake with the Vision Resonator, and that is going to turn into Enigmaster Packbit. I have not talked about this card yet on this channel, so I guess I should talk about it right now. Enigmaster Packbit is a level 8 generic synchro that reads, if this card is synchro summoned or is sent to the graveyard, you can target either one monster in your graveyard or one face-up monster your opponent controls, discard one card, and then just set it in the spell and trap zone as a continuous trap. If this card is in our spell and trap zone, we can, during either player's turn, just spawn out a monster since it's a continuous trap. So you can use Packbit's effect if you wish. Let's just say since we're on the draw, we can still use this talent. And we're just going to put Emeth in our spell and trap zone. So that's like one of the many scenarios that we can do. If we're not on the Draw and Lockbird, so things change a little bit. So we're just going to put this back to our extra deck. We're just going to put this back. We're going back to the scenario where we had the Trudea and we had the Vision Resonator and we had the other one in graveyard and we had the Bystial in our hand. So we're back at this point. And this is still in the... And Emeth is still in the top of the deck. So what we can do here is we can still special the Vision Resonator. Or we can just save it in our hand. It doesn't matter. The Trudea is going to put itself in the spell and trap. And then the Trudea is going to spawn out for Primera. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to special the Primera. Primera is going to activate. Primera can add us like any Centurion card. For the sake of this explanation, we're just going to grab... I guess we can grab Emeth. Just for like this explanation. Since we control the Bystial, we can just Bystial, special... Bystial, banish Vision Resonator. Bystial plus Primera is going to make Dissipator. With Dissipator's effect, we're just going to grab, we're just going to special Vision Resonator back. And then Dissipator and Vision Resonator is going to make us Legatia. And with the Legatia, we're just going to draw. Like, we're just going to put this token as our extra draw. And then during the end phase, we're just going to put the Primera back into our spell and trap. The main thing that changes is we have the extra body from the Vision Resonator. We can just keep this Vision Resonator in our hand. It will be like the exact same thing. The Vision Resonator makes it so if we have other extenders, we can just make other synchros. Like, for example, Baron the Floor. Just to showcase like one example. Now let's try to do combos that are post Legacy of Destruction. Instead of summoning the Legatia, we're just going to summon the Archeola. And the Vision Resonator is still on our board. So we're back at the same exact end board that we just did. with the Dissipator in graveyard. But now with the Archeola, what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of their new Centurion monsters, which is Gargoyle 2. Gargoyle 2 is one of the monsters that got revealed as new support. And Gargoyle 2 reads, you can send one Centurion card you control to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, you can add this card to your hand during the main phase. If this card is a continuous trap, you can special summon it like the same way you summon other Centurions. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Gargoyle's effect. This is still in our graveyard because we're not in the end phase yet. So we're going to use Gargoyle's effect. We're going to send it through Dea. We're going to special Gargoyle. And then we can synchro with Gargoyle and Vision Resonator into our Bear on the Floor. And since we did a synchro summon, the Gargoyle will trigger, and then Gargoyle can grab itself back to her hand. And then during the end phase, you can do Archeola, and Archeola is going to place Primera Inspire Trap. So what does that do here? We have the Archeola that's going to protect all our cards in our Spell and Trap zone. We have the Primera that's going to special summon, and then the Primera can grab us anything in our opponent's turn. And since we have Emeth 6 in our hand, we can special summon the Emeth by pushing the Archeola, and then we can synchro these two into Legatia. And then Legatia is one interruption. And take note, we still have the negate effect from Bear on the Floor. Now let's go back to when we had stand up and we sent Vision Resonator. So this is in our deck, this is in our extra. And let's start with our starting hand, which involved the Vision and the Boldrake. And if I'm not mistaken, we had Imperm in our hand. So let's put Imperm back in our hand. So let's just put everything back. We're back at this point, right? So we sent the Vision. We placed Primera. Vision now triggers. Vision grabs Gaia. So we're back at this point. And this is still in our deck. So now we just activate the Gaia. Gaia grabs us another Resonator. We're going to do Primera's effect. Primera is going to special summon. We're going to do Primera. Primera is going to add. With Primera, we're going to add Trudea. And now what we're going to do is we're going to normal summon the Trudea. Trudea is going to trigger. Trudea is going to move itself back. And with Trudea, we're going to place the Gargoyle. We're going to do Gargoyle's effect. Gargoyle is going to special summon. Since we control a level 8 Dark Monster, we can special summon Vision Resonator. Vision and Gargoyle is going to synchro summon. And that's going to make Bear on the Floor. Gargoyle is going to trigger. Gargoyle can grab itself back to her hand. And now what we can do is we're going to send Trudea to special Gargoyle. Gargoyle and Primera can make Archeola. And now Archeola gets to trigger. And something cool about Archeola and the thing that changes the dynamic with the deck is instead, since now we have a second searcher for Centurion cards, we can play other cards that we did not play on the deck before. Like for example, we can play True Awakening since we have a surefire way of searching it while also having a way to use its effect. Centurion Phalanx is another good one that we can just grab. So we can just grab Phalanx. These are like the main ones that you kind of want to be utilizing. You can grab the Emeth and just have Emeth to be used on your opponent's turn. And then in the end phase, what we can do is, let's say for the explanation of this combo, we're just going to grab Phalanx. So this is our bottom of our deck. End phase, Archeola is going to grab Primera, and it's going to place Primera here. And now to summarize, we have the disruption from Phalanx, we have the negate from Baron, we have follow-up from Primera, we have interruption by Baldrake, and then we can fuse away Primera with Baldrake in order to make another level 10, for example, Chaos Angel, and that's another interruption. Another really cool thing is, since Phalanx is in the graveyard, if Archeola ever ends up leaving the field, you can resummon Archeola during the next turn by banishing Phalanx, and then the Archeola is just going to search us another card. So the level of resiliency and the level of interruptions just gets significantly better because of the addition of Archeola. Another thing that's really important is that Archeola protects your spell and trap zones entirely, and your Primera protects your Archeola from being destroyed by card effects. So essentially, your board is immune to stuff like Lightning Storm, is immune to stuff like Chaos Dragon Levianeer, is immune to like stuff like Black Rose Dragon, something amongst the lines of those cards. So now that you're looking at all of this from a practical standpoint, I'd say this is where we just like end the combos here. Like we can still freestyle like another hand and see other plays that can be done with Centurion that way. This is a really good example hand because we opened no Centurion cards. So what we're going to do with this hand is we're going to activate Lubellion. Lubellion is going to add us to our hand. We're just going to add like Bystial Magnum, for example. We can activate Crimson Gaia. Crimson Gaia is going to add. We're just going to add Vision Resonator. We're going to activate Branded Regained. We're going to activate Magnamut. Magnamut is going to special. We're going to banish the Lubellion. Because of Regain, we're just going to put back the Lubellion. We drew into another Lubellion. That is very, very convenient. You'll see now in a moment. We're going to Special Vision Resonator since we control Dark. We're going to tribute away the Magnamut for Lubellion. We're going to do Lubellion's effect. Lubellion is going to put in the spell and trap zone. We're just going to put a Trude of the Branded. Like for example. We're going to normal summon Vision Resonator. This is going to make this better. These two is going to make Archeola. And Archeola is going to trigger. And this is... and I know this was a very unorthodox hand, and this hand should not have worked. But the whole purpose of me demonstrating all of this is that now, because of the existence of Archeola, we have access to our Centurion engine, even if we don't open Centurion cards, as long as we can get to Archeola. So we're going to use Archeola effect. We're going to grab Stand Up. We're going to use Stand Up effect. Stand Up is going to trigger. Stand Up is going to place Trudea in our spell and trap. We're going to special the Trudea. Trudea will trigger. Trudea will move back. Trudea will spawn Primera. And now we're going to activate Primera. Primera is going to trigger. And then with Primera, we're just going to grab Phalanx. And this is our end board. So something interesting that's going to happen here is you can Trudea on our opponent's turn. Make it level 8. And these two can make Legatia. But not only that, you can either make Legatia or you can make the Crimson Calamity lock if you're interested. In the future, I'm going to show how you can play around Super Polymerization, but there is a way for you to play around Super Polymerization while doing this combo. Another thing to note is if your opponent ever summons, Branded Regain will trigger, and this is going to special Dissipator. And if you banish something from your opponent with Centurion Phalanx, the Dissipator becomes an interruption. Or if you banish the lighter dark monster, the regained is going to net you 1 draw. And you also have DD Crow to make sure that that is possible as well. So, this is the end of the video. I just wanted to freestyle some hands and just show you some stuff that you can do after Legacy of Destruction. Legacy of Destruction is going to be a game-changing format. We're going to be having a bunch of different decks that are most likely going to like really just shape up the meta despite how dominant it is with Snake Eye. But I kind of just wanted to showcase you a Centurion a little bit because this is my deck of choice for the format, and for the foreseeable future it might be doing so as well. And it's good for you to know these combos because the landscape of this deck is going to change dramatically. Let me know if you're interested in seeing more interactions with this deck post-Light of Destruction. There is a lot more that I want to talk about this card and about Gargoyle as well. But yeah, until then, keep practicing and keep dueling.